right, we are here. Good night, San Diego. Cliffy, what's going on? Stickler, Stickler just subbed. Thanks. Good morning, Pilgrim.
Morning. Good morning, Guido. Good morning, the North American continent, and good morning, all colonials everywhere, and good old jolly Britain. Hey, good old jolly England.
All
On you all.
all y'all.
Yeah.
So you asked me how I've been, how the week's been. Pretty good. Yeah. Just
Good.
trying to finish up the house thing and really sucking at tanks, like epic suck.
Really bad, really suck. Yeah, I get your feeling, bro. In fact, I went on this morning. It's turned around a little bit, but yeah, this week has been a little bit interesting, should we say?
Yeah, I'll show you guys the stats in a minute. It's been. I complain about having bad spells, but this is maybe one of the worst. It's pretty awesome how bad it was. I'm getting. I learned something though this week about World of Tanks that I had maybe forgotten.
What did you learn that you may have forgotten? It must be something.
If you play badly a lot, and especially in light tanks,
Yeah.
you get a lot, and I mean a lot, of love notes.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you really? That I have never experienced that. Pray, tell me, what is it like?
I mean, generally, I don't. I do notice that when I play lights and people have a bad game, and maybe you don't play that great, you tend to collect more love notes. But if you consistently suck at light tanks in a session, you're gonna get people are gonna either both in game chat more often, but also chase you into the garage. I mean, I don't know how many I have. It's awesome. Actually, there's one right here from old Ace Xenon himself. What did he say? Oh, that's right. He opened that one up. I did tell and that wasn't even a light tank now that I think about it. That was actually a TD on Studzianski, where nobody went south. A 110
Okay.
a 110
That's good.
Yeah. 110-4 went south. And I was with him initially,
Right.
but it was just me and him at an all tier 10 battle, and I just turned around and went back and camped at the back edge of the
Of course you did.
And I told the 110, I told the 110, I'm like, dude, don't go down there. And he turned around, so we both sat there. There were 3 TDs on the little sniper ridge thing. That went exactly. So I typed him like, look, we can't. All BDMs up on that little hill in north is not a great idea. They all went there.
No.
So they all went there, and I said, all right, now you're stuck. What are you going to do? They sat there for a while. Then they killed the other enemy tank that was there. Only one went there. And then you could tell there was an FV way in the back, and there was a sturv in the next little thing of trees in a little hill. And I said, okay, what's going to happen now is they're going to push and die to the TDs, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, of course it is. Because they have not a brain cell between them.
Meanwhile, the 3 clowns on the ridge, one was an FV405 who shot at somebody and then immediately got deleted because he couldn't. Because he couldn't get off the hill fast enough because it backs up at -7. The FV4005 is so slow at backing up it goes forward. And then the other 2 got off the little thing, realized that there was nobody in the south to keep them unspotted, and they ran all the way to the north to the tracks.
Was he watching from the back going, yep, this
And
is
then-
well, you're rubbing your hands together thinking, I know what's going to happen here.
And then I thought the 110-4 was my friend.
Oh, right.
I thought he was my
It
friend.
wasn't.
He was not my friend. No, he was not. I turned around, looked down, and he's on the other side of the tracks, or up, way on the.
Brilliant.
So something so then a 264 version 2 or whatever shows up, and I shoot it, and it angles perfectly, and I bounce. So the one shot I hit was the first one. It was a bounce. I took 5 more shots trying to hit an EBR. Missed every shot. Missed every shot. So I had 0.
Yeah.
It was a perfect game. 0, 0, 0. And then when I started getting hit, I bounced nothing. Everything
Of
bent.
course not.
To include the EBR at full speed. So, the guy wasn't wrong. He goes, you didn't do any damage. Which, that whole discussion is so stupid.
Yeah.
You know, what you said is blah blah blah. You didn't do any damage. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yep, you got me. This game, I didn't do any damage, dude.
Yeah.
So what I
Well
wrote,
done you. Well
yeah.
done you.
So what I wrote back is, was anything I said during that match wrong?
But no, he couldn't answer that honestly.
No, he ignored it.
Truthfully, could he? Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, he's actually a pretty good player. He's like 55% kind of decent, good stats player. So good player. Bit of a seal clubber though.
But there you go. If he's down at tier 4 all the time, that's what he's going to get, isn't he?
Theoretically, I should have learned to not type in chat, but I'm
No,
more.
it's fun sometimes.
Well, it is, but I'm also more and more unable to not do it. The teams, man, what?
Well, I had
Bloody
for
heck.
example, this morning. I love tier 6 at the moment because tier 6 is seeing tier 6 and 5 this time on the NA because it's quite a low pop. So I'm getting tier 6 and tier 5s, and we were in the toilet bowl. What's that one called? It's basically it's worse
Province?
than mines.
Province.
Is that
Yeah.
the one? It's a toilet bowl. Where
Yeah.
So I'm in it. I'm in the T78 TD.
Pilgrim.
pushing
I'm sorry,
the-
but they fixed Province. Remember?
Of course they did. Yes, it's no longer the toilet bowl now, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a TD, so I'm sat in a bush, barely near the red line, as you do. I spawned on the south side. Yeah, the
Yeah.
south side, so in the north. And I had a T150 heavy sat with me in the bush. So I just turned my turret towards him, looked at him like that, typed in chat, heavy, T150 heavy, can you F off? Because your camo is going to absolutely get me mullered. And then shot him. And then moved. I'm waiting for the love message to come back. I haven't had it yet. But he stayed there the whole game. Red line, in a bush, in a T150 heavy. Sitting there, plinking away across the toilet bowl.
Pew! Pew!
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck.
So here it is. I'll get to chat in a second, guys. Here it is, fellas. This is absolutely amazing. And I played a lot yesterday because I had a day to just sit around, right?
All right, yeah.
I actually didn't have a day to sit around, but I chose to.
You chose to,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, there's a difference in that. isn't
Well,
there?
because I gotta fix a couple faucets today, and I just put it off yesterday. Anyway,
Yeah.
one day, 24 battles, a 1,069 win rate, 41% win rate. But check this out. The last 30 days, 298 battles, 48.99% win rate.
Oh, that is hurting.
Look at the
That
red
is
debt. Look at the
hurting.
red.
Yeah.
12 games in the TESAC, 41%. A 649 win rate.
Wow. That is hurting.
Dude, completely unable to play the game.
It is.
The Skoda, which had been above 60% for like 70 games, even at one point up to 65%. Absolute into the toilet the last 15, 20 games. 37% win rate. At least an okay-ish win rate of 1660
Yeah,
in 8
ish.
games. In 8 games. But if we go to 3 days, how do you do that? Why is that not now available? Don't understand that.
Because we've had a reset, haven't we?
No, I'm trying to figure out.
About an hour ago, we had a reset.
It's like my little options one. Anyway, horrible. Horrible. Well, you ain't wrong, Wayne, because if you're playing 12 games at a 41% win rate, you are actively sabotaging your teams, whether you mean to or not.
Yeah. Which,
That-
yeah.
dude.
It is true. That is true.
And I will fully take responsibility for a significant amount of bad gameplay. I mean, a 1,000 win 8 tells the tale. Even this 1,400 tells the tale in this. But at the same time, there's been teams that are completely unrecoverable. I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. If you've got something like that happens where nearly the whole team goes one flank and does the die on a ditch maneuver, and you're sitting back there and watching it happen, there is absolutely almost nothing you can do to change the game because the other team is just going to roll up straight over.
Yeah. And
Not really. All you can do is try your best, isn't it?
I'm hoping I get to the Miserable Monday stuff because I have some unreal, snapshots. I show my face in the TESAC. There was one, Siegfried line or Mannheim line. I don't remember which one has the field. that the lights go out and play on. I think it's Siegfried.
Siegfried.
Yeah, I think it's Siegfried. So I had avoided. We'd killed the Manicore. That's the other problem with that tank.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the problem with the Tessac is that every other tier 10 light tank exists.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially Manicores. So I'd managed not to get Manicored. And that's another one. I kept getting maps where there'd be a Manicore, and I get it. The TDs need you to get out there and get some lights. Yeah, that's 100% part of the game. But if I run out into the usual spaces against a Manicore, I die, and now I'm not available for your lights anyway. So I don't know. It's a difficult situation. Do I hang back to stay alive and then I'm not getting lights? Or do I rage in and hopefully maybe the Manicore dies, but usually I do? So we killed him, though. A leopard came in and helped. I pushed up. Actually, the leopard went down to the little road. You know that stupid road that's...
Yeah.
And then your proxy lit and the lights, someone dies because an arty kills them eventually, kind of bullshit. Terrible, terrible situation. But I go down there. The Manicore got beat up enough that I was able to come up and get behind that little pillbox, pop out, kill him off, and get back in, take a hit, but not completely die. So I took one 400 hit point hit or something. So we kill him off. Now we're actually winning. So this is one of the few wins. I'm moving through the field. I get further, I think it's north. And I'm looking over, and somebody is lit because they're a little bit further to the...
South.
No, they're a little bit further to the east of me. That they're lighting the 4005 that's sitting on the ridge. Yeah, sitting on the ridge. So I stop, and it's, he's right inside the edge, but this thing's camo is so shit. If it even you have to make sure everything's outside of your view circle. Now, that's the best procedure anyway. It's the best practice. But a lot of light tanks, you can be just inside of it, and even while shooting,
you can get away with it
sometimes.
Not
Not this frickin' thing. So anyway, I start, he takes some hits, and his turret's looking like this. I see the turret go like this.
Yeah, you know where it's coming, and obviously,
gone.
Obviously,
I'm
shot.
I'm moving backwards, but trying to get down to get the ridge up a little bit. I'm moving backwards. He turns, fires. That thing just lobs over and just ganks me immediately right there.
It's just. I think this week has been. Maybe it's something to do with the look of the Irish. I don't know, but it has certainly this week has been absolutely that way.
Man.
In fact, the first good battle I've had I've played 3 days this week, was this morning. One battle I played this morning before this stream, and it turned out a good one. And that's the first good one I've had in 3-4 days now. Nightmare. All good though. It swings and roundabouts. At one point, somewhere in the next 20 years,
it will. I mean, the guys are saying that it'll swing. And I thought it kind of had, because it did for a couple weeks there. I had another slump earlier, but now I'm right back into it. Even my 1,000 battles is only a 2,226 win rate and a 54% win rate. I tell you what, some of it's self-inflicted because I play bad tanks a lot. But at the same time, just the amount of autoloaders and double barrels and this is, the standard complaining refrain, but it's absolutely it's a critical mass. It's just miserable at this point. You just can't. If you're not playing the good tanks with all the autoloader, loader, reloader, alpha crap, you're just along for the ride, and that it's so easy to get destroyed. Mistakes, man, especially at that tier. But I think it has a lot to do with just the wild imbalance in the game and the accelerating stupidity of all of the extra alpha double barrel bullshit that's going on. Sorry for the language, fellas. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We got all kinds of people in here. Who else? We got Eighth Hussers, Gator, Wayne, Grendel, Jimmy, Odd Dog, Cliffy. Who else is in here? I think O'Brute. Did O'Brute? No, I didn't. I thought I saw him, but I guess it didn't. Who else? I think that's pretty much everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. Odd Dog, there you go. I mainly play the World War II and do not buy the new premium, so I get pretty much outclassed. Yeah, right, Odd Dog.
Yeah, that is it, isn't it? I think that's it. If you play the standard tank, I'm not going to say if you play the tech tree tank, but if you play the standard tank, you tend to be slightly outgunned all the time. Just mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wild. What else is going on? I did finish the Skoda T17. I mentioned that. I ended up 2 marking it. Probably.
You like that, didn't you? That's,
Yeah, I liked it a
like
lot.
It's a medium.
It got caught up in this toilet bowl swirl though this week, so
Oh,
it,
did it?
I
Oh,
lost
did it?
its
Ah.
luster a little bit as I kept losing. I ended at 59%, which is fine. That was good after 100 battles, and I still enjoy it. But it's got the kind of the same problem to the other light tanks that I played. Right now, I was playing that. Then I'm playing the Tessak, and I'm playing that KPZ LP whatever German thing with
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
degree. But it's also a big, massive, terrible camo light tank. So it struggles.
yeah.
Why? Because things like ELC 90s exist.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
so-
very much, I mean, class dependent, isn't it? But when you look at the tier levels you're going to be up against, you just know that you're not going to have a good game.
Yeah, I had
It's-
yesterday. I had one. I aced it yesterday on my last battle. It was the only really decent battle, minus a mana core battle that was okay. And I ended up stopping there. But as I looked at it, because it was a proc, not proc. Yeah, it was proc. It was a proc game. And I remember going, "Oh man, luck has changed. I'm playing well." And then I kind of looked at it and thought about it and went, "No, the enemy light tanks were
No, you
stupid.
don't.
Yeah, the enemy light tanks were stupid. You actually made a couple mistakes that should have killed you. And yeah, you had 5,900 assists and 8 or 900 damage or 1,200, whatever it was. And it ended up being an ace tanker for the tank. And you were definitely a big part of the win. But that was more luck than anything.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
finally had slightly enough luck to not get
Yeah.
destroyed. And the enemy light tanks were very stupid.
I base, well, there you go. I base it very much on scale of 10. So I use the 10 scale to give me an indication of how the day's going to go with the World of Tanks. So you play your first 10 games. If you're 50% or above, it's worth pressing on, I think, to do. But as soon as you start to hit the 40%, you're like, nah, I'm not doing another 10. So I'll do 10. If I'm 50 plus, another 10. If I then sort of drop to 40, go, okay, 20 is enough. It's obviously that's where we're at with it.
Yeah.
But if I start to consistently get over 50% each 10 games, I'll keep playing up to 30, 40 games, and then that's it for the day, because that's a lot of time.
Well, I'm definitely backsliding. It may have a lot to do with the tanks. I don't know if I'd have to prove that theory by playing theoretically good tanks, and then if I continued to suck, then I'd have to blame myself. So I'm not going to do that. That'd be ridiculous. And everybody survived What's that?
Sorry, Gator had a tier 5-6
What?
without a leaf in it. Yeah, that's unheard of. Unheard of. Not even like 2 artillery.
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's the usual suspects. Every time you log in, you're like, all right, I'm going to play my tier 8 light tank. ELC's all over the place. Always in
Yeah,
frickin'
all over the
ELC.
place. Yeah.
I'm going to play my tier 10 light tank. Manacores all over the place. Or EBRs,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I took 5 shots of that EBR in that 268 battle.
I
I whiffed every
I
shot.
hate them. Yeah,
You know?
I hate them. I hate them. And they do that sort of like twirl around in the air
Oh, yeah,
business
yeah.
and all that. And you're like,
Yeah.
piss off.
I hate to say it, but maybe the hand-eye coordination is also starting to slow down
Yeah,
somewhat.
start to twitch. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go to
No,
you're gonna
that's
go to
not.
props now.
That's not it. It's the
You go to
game.
props. You're not going to fly fast jets. You're going to go to props. Are you?
I think you might even need more in props. I mean, they're squirrely.
Ospreys. You should be flying ospreys.
Yeah, that's probably. I don't even know how that thing flies. Does an osprey have a cyclical? I guess. I don't know how they fly.
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell's in an osprey. I assume it has a cyclical and it flies like a helicopter, but I don't know.
It can't be too hard because it is a marine. It is a US marine thing, isn't it? You know what I mean?
That's
Hoorah!
those are the best Marines, though. Those are the smart ones.
Yeah.
Straight line wind took some of your fence down. Sorry to hear that, Cliffy. Cleanup is today's. Sky was. Oh my goodness, dust and smoke.
That
What was
sounds
the
nasty.
What was the smoke from? You got fires from it. We got the tip. We got the little edge of it down here, and it kind of blew through. So we escaped. Had an EF1 hit the south side of our town. Oh man, no injuries. Good, Stickler. Yeah, we had a massive.
Is it that time of year in the States?
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was
spring.
August.
Spring, yeah.
Spring, yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
Yeah, spring. I mean, obviously you can get tornadoes in the summer as well with big storms. Those kind of tend to be further north, but in the south it's mostly the spring. We get these lines that just come across the whole United States, especially down in the southern. And you look at the radar, and it's just a line of red, and And they just sweep through at a big old front, and we had one of those last night. It was much worse up
So
north.
you'll get where you are. You'll get the tail end of everything that sweeps across the states, and surely.
Yeah, and sometimes
Going
it's
around.
pretty gnarly, but most of ours is moisture coming off the Gulf because we're right on the Gulf.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, of course.
So we'll still have the energy in the thunderstorms, but rarely, touch wood, do we get
Yeah.
the tornadoes. It's when you get further north and it interacts more with the cold air up there. As the warm air's pushing through, it can get really gnarly.
Yeah.
Really gnarly, and it looks like some of the guys had to deal with it last night. And it always sucks when it happens at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a
Yeah,
Protos.
it's a-
Go ahead.
No, go on. I was just saying, it's an unknown quantity at night, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
You
right.
can see it happening. You can avoid it, but at the night time, you're like, okay, when's it hitting?
Yeah. I don't know why necessarily that's worse. Obviously, dark is the issue there, but also just at night, you're tired, you're trying to sleep, and the last thing you want to do is have to deal with all that stuff. That
Batten
sucks.
down the hatches.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of prototype 06s out there.
Is there now?
Oh
Games
yeah.
Week.
People love autoloaders. It's crazy.
I'm not sliding out.
14 aside. You all right, Pilgrim?
14 aside. Yeah. No, I was just sliding around on my chair, just doing shit.
I see those once in a while. It's just when the matchmaker doesn't have enough people. Golf.
You know, I can't remember experiencing it on NA, possibly because I'm playing at a different sort of peak time. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know if that works. But yeah, I mean, I'm playing your early mornings, and I've never seen anything but 15 versus 15.
Yeah. Geocar, are you talking about the bar behind us there? That's actually an image generated by Midjourney. So I put something like Cold War fighter pilot bar, and that's one of the options it gave. So that's me
then,
and
and then can I just caveat that?
yeah,
And then he put into Chat GPT or whatever
Midjourney.
Midjourney, he put in gnarly, hobbit-typed, bearded, flat-capped dwarf, and that's what came up. Me, there. Thank you. And he comes up as a suave, smooth, sophisticated pilot with his cup of coffee. I come up as a gnarly elbow. That is bad. Really bad.
In my defense, you told me to keep it.
Well, I did. I it's quite applicable, really, isn't it? I mean, when I wake up in the morning, do I look like...
Is that how you feel?
I do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I feel on a daily basis.
That is a Midjourney from several years ago that will never exist again, and had
No.
a certain amount of charm, even though it was
It
weird.
did.
It was often very weird. What's funny about that is that this subject came up because while we were waiting, I was looking at that and I said, I wonder what Midjourney would do with the same prompt. And I remember
bet
the
you,
prompt
yeah.
being an Imperial British. Oh, I should have said NCO. That might change
Yeah.
it slightly, but I think I said Imperial British NCO drinking tea. I just did it again.
Oh, okay.
I just did it
Yeah.
again, and
Yeah.
I think it's worse now. On the
You think
break,
it's worse
on
now?
the break, I'll try to
Yeah.
download the image and see if I can't
Okay.
show everyone what it came up with, because that has a bit of charm to it.
Okay. Yeah, it
Now
does,
there's not the new one is not great.
Well, like Cliffy said, it'll be photorealistic with like shitty hands.
Yeah, still with hands doing this.
Gnarly hands. Yeah.
Although if you look at, I don't know what's going on with the hands on that one, but it ain't right.
It's not, is it?
No.
It's not. That's
Like-
like what's that film where he goes, "Take my hand"? No, the good one. I can't remember. It's one of the scary movie type films.
No, don't
And
know.
they're stuck over the edge of the cliff, and he goes to give him a hand, and he's got a gnarly hand, doesn't he? He goes, take my hand, and the guy goes, "No, I don't think so. I'll just drop off the cliff instead. That's fine." That's what
I'd
I
rather
thought.
die than touch that hand.
Yeah.
That's a time capsule, man. That's
It
a
is
time, yeah,
capsule,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
If you want to know how
Yeah.
far Midjourney's come, look at that little image and then
Well, it's
consider.
educated now, isn't it, Mid-Journey? So that's why
It's
working.
learning. It's learning. Can you imagine the call signs we could generate it from it? Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Memories.
So, this old money pit house. Oh, we got our glass in. in the
Cool,
bathroom.
but no faucets. So you got glass, but no faucets.
No, the faucets is self-inflicted pain. I'm replacing leaky faucets back in the master bathroom.
Oh, got you. Okay. So it's not
Separate situation, yeah. So now
Yeah,
I'm going to try to self-replace those,
Okay.
which is going to be an adventure, I'm sure, because I have to fold myself into down below a sink and reach up and undo things. And
Do you have to turn the water off to do that then?
we have valves in the
So you can isolate it.
right to the sink, yeah. So we have two valves, hot and cold water, that we'll
okay.
just turn off there, and then we can work on the.
Okay. Cool.
Theoretically, depending on whether the valves are working correctly and do actually turn off the water. So good point. I don't
Okay.
know. Actually, at this point, I don't know.
You'll only find out when there's a geyser coming out the top of your sink.
Yeah, it's supposed to work that way. That's what's
Okay.
supposed to happen.
There one.
Thanks, Cliffy. Thank you, Cliffy. Yeah. Come on, man. Good karma. What's with all the negative waves?
Yeah.
They're old valves, so you never know. Sometimes you start turning the valve and it goes tink. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it then. That's buggered, isn't it?
and that's that.
Call your plumber.
Yep. I almost called them anyway, but I keep looking at it. The bummer I'm going to have to deal with is we have these. There was a setup back in the past. There's a little plunger guy that's attached to the plunger in the drain, so that if you pull it up, it will close, so you can fill your sink up. And you push it down, and it pushes it up and it opens. It's got a mechanical,
The ones,
mechanical arm down below.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, they are really old school. They are. You've got
Yeah,
proper old school.
that's what I had.
Cool.
But now they've
Yeah.
got the self-contained ones. You just slide down into the drain, and I think you push it, and it kind of comes back up, and you push it down, and it
Okay,
clicks down.
spring loaded.
Yeah,
Spring
something like
loaded.
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's different, which means now I'm into the fact of having to mess with the actual drain and the S trap,
yeah.
and I'm
Oh,
not
dear.
super jazzed about messing with that piece of it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Lesson
Bruce.
learned. Never
Bruce,
have I.
learning lessons.
What happened? Oh, did your iPad walk away? Did it grow legs and decide it needed a new home? That's great. Yeesh.
Oh dear.
That really sucks. Well, now you just have to buy a new one, I guess. The post above. Can you imagine?
Oh, nipply pinchy.
What does that mean?
No idea. I thought it was a pilot thing between you two. I thought that was your moniker. It wasn't Guido. It was nipply pinchy, wasn't it? Hello, King Tiger. Welcome in.
I believe if you said that in a fighter squadron, you might get your ass kicked.
Yeah. What's your tag? Nipply pinchy.
Actually, considering the amount of places, considering the places of ill repute we might go to, somebody actually might get that call sign. But it would be something like NP.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. So only you would know.
Yeah, he would. His call sign would be NP, and it would then stand for something else officially, but everyone would know that it meant nipply pinchy.
Yeah. Non patriae or something in Latin, wouldn't it?
King Tiger 503 Gaming, how you doing, man? Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. All right, yeah. So got the glass in. We have the crown moldings in. So it's paint and caulk. The wall that they destroyed in my daughter's room while destroying the wall on the other side of the wall has now been cleaned and skimmed and re-plastered.
Yeah.
There was an access hatch there that went to the old plumbing in the bathroom. That had like a plastic thing. We popped that out and we put wallboard back in there and closed that off because unrequired at this point. So now it's paint, caulk, and a couple other little things. But we're so close.
So close.
We're so close, man.
But you doing the faucets as a separate project.
Yeah, that was something else because it's that crappy Chinese pot metal, and they're probably about 15 years old now. So every time I turn them on, it comes out the faucet and out of the thing.
Everywhere.
Yeah. The good news is it kind of drips and it goes right into the sink, so that's good. And it's not dripping down below because it's actually in the valve part that's above the sink, so it's not going back down. But eventually it will.
It will do, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
eventually.
You'll have damp behind it
Yeah.
and all the rest of it. So.
What's wild is they all kind of failed about the same time. I've been ignoring it for about a year because it wasn't much at first. It was just a little drip out of
Were
one.
they all installed at the same time then?
Yeah.
Do you think? So
I
that's why they failed
I
at the same
redid
time.
my master 15 years ago. I did all the tile. I had a plumber do the shower, but I did the demo. I tore it all out back when I was interested in stuff like that. And then I was a plumbing company that did stuff, and they put those big. They're not actually marble, but they're the big, whatever the fake marble shit is that you can put in showers.
No, I get you.
So it's pretty nice. And then I did all the tiling around the tub and the floor and the backsplash and all that crap, painting, everything else. But which meant that I went to probably Lowe's or something and bought some relatively cheap fixtures.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they're-
as you do. As you do.
yeah, I mean, they're good for 15, 12, 15, 10
Yeah.
years, something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They're not the cast iron models of yesteryear, though. Are
Yeah.
they? They're not.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Is
And
that,
you,
is that word you used a euphemism?
which one?
Interesting. When you said when you were interested in doing that sort of stuff, is that a euphemism for your house general saying you're not going to touch another single thing in this house?
I hadn't thought about it that way. I mean, it's not a bad theory actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
it's
do
like-
I do tend to
Okay.
say I'll do that, and then I get a little bit of pushback. Well, you could
Yeah.
Hire
Wouldn't it be
s-
better to get somebody in.
could hire some.
Oh man, I think all wives are the same.
I
To be
did
honest,
get
all
the side
wives are the
eye.
same.
I did get the side eye when I said, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to tackle that shit." I thought you said you're going to have someone do it. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
I could do that.
You know what we're going to have in about 6 hours from now?
Yeah.
A sore back,
Yeah.
sore shoulders and arms from reaching up underneath there.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the entire sink faucet things is going to be completely out and disassembled, but it's
Yes.
not going to go back in right.
No. No.
That
That's
those,
where you're going to be. Then you'll get the comment. Told you should have got somebody to do that.
well, it's good to have goals. I have 4 goals now for
Yeah.
today.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's progression. That's
Yeah.
progression, isn't it? So, yeah.
A fifth,
That's all
a
right.
fifth very lucky one would be if I actually tweak my back and now I can barely move.
Yes, and then you can't get to work tomorrow. That would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? No.
That's the plan. We have a plan. That's good. Write it
Yes.
down.
Good plan. Invincible. What's it about, Madam Yorktown?
Invincible is a cartoon, I believe. Superhero
Okay.
cartoon. I think is that the one he's
Oh,
talking
is that
about.
what? Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. I know. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah. If that's what it is.
Kind of one of those. It's sort of on the.
It's a tongue-in-cheek one, isn't it?
Is it in the Boys universe? I think there was a crossover with that, wasn't there? I do watch The Boys. I like that. I watched Electric State last night.
All right. What was that like?
It was okay.
Was it? I've heard mixed reviews about it, to be honest.
I wonder if that was like a fan mit thing or something. I could have swore I saw some crossover where maybe it was somebody cutting up the various things, but I thought the main guy from Invincible and the main guy from The Boys, Homelander, fought or some crap like that.
All right. Okay. You must be a bit further ahead than me on everything.
Yeah.
I think. Of course, you will be.
Separate comic book series. Andy the Cupid, we were just discussing how difficult it is to drive these standard cyclical tanks these days in the day of super nanodyne frickin' double barrel auto loader reloader alpha,
Yeah.
you know, press X to do whatever tanks these days. Yeah, the cupola, the M2Y is miserable. It is just that whole line's miserable. Although some people like
Well,
the
it had so much potential, though, didn't it? With its you know, its track system and everything else. It just felt like it had like lots of potential, and it just never amounted to anything.
talk
Everything
about a special power. That's what I'm going to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
At this point, let's be honest, is what it is. Mechanic that did not mean a damn thing.
No, I know.
Honestly, does anybody think that mechanic did anything? That's true, Cliffy. That's true. And they did buff the tier 10. I think they buffed them all, but I don't think it did much
Yeah,
for
they did
them.
do the tier 10 though, didn't they? 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember seeing that as on the write-up.
Yeah. And I am watching Reacher. The new season of
Right,
Reacher's
see.
out.
Right, see, I'm waiting for that to come through. We're on the last season at the moment. We just finished it, so I'm waiting for the new Reacher. But we'll be 6 months behind you, so you would have
Oh, really?
seen the whole series before we get it. All the popular series tend to be about 6 months behind the States.
Yeah.
So I have to sort of like ask people who have got friends in the States not to tell me anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're letting all the secrets out. I'm like, shut up, stop.
Well, you're going to be shocked when he dies. That's the crazy thing.
Get out of here! He does not die.
He doesn't.
Cannot die.
Of course he
No.
doesn't. He has plot armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Grendel, it is. It's one of those things though. I still like the series, but the first year was just the best because you were getting
Yeah,
to know that character and the way that actor played it,
Yeah.
which was so fantastic. The way he brought it to life. I'd never read the book, so I didn't know much about it. I had a couple friends that did, so
Yeah.
we would after the different episodes we discuss it, and then they filled me in that yeah, that's kind of his thing. He's really playing it close to the way the book portrays the guy,
Yeah.
just his analytical mind and all the just saying like a bad guy tells him to do something, he'll just be like no.
yeah.
That
yeah,
kind of
The
stuff.
books are fantastic. I've followed the books regularly, so every new one that's
Oh, okay.
Lee Childs has brought out, because I think his son writes part of the books now. I think it's Lee.
It's a
Childs'
woman, isn't it?
son.
I think it's a woman.
Or is that who it is?
I think Lee Childs is a woman. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. That'd be interesting to know.
Gator Landman, I forgot. I need to add that to my list. I do want to watch that because every time I see a clip, that's with Billy. What the hell's his name? Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob, yeah.
Pilgrim
yeah.
is a Texas oil guy, and all the clips I see, it looks pretty awesome. Looks pretty awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that. Andy Cupid said Series 3's out, because I've only finished watching Series 2. Andy, is that on Netflix?
Yeah, so you're getting it at the same time we are. We're watching it.
Oh, I should be able to watch it.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I didn't
It's
know.
on Amazon.
Oh, is it? Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I don't have that. I've got Netflix, so I get it. That's why I get it late.
Wayne's throwing me off, Pilgrim. Landman
Right,
isn't
isn't-
or is
Isn't?
is
Yeah, but I don't know. What's that mean?
Cliffy. We know.
Yeah, we know.
You mean they don't just randomly kill people and leave them out, just like Yellowstone? I don't know.
Yellowstone. That is just
Like,
absolutely off this planet.
How many
You know,
people
the
did
amount
they?
of violence going on.
How many people did they gank in the little Yellowstone area? Like, wow.
Without anything happening whatsoever. No investigation, no FBI,
Cliffy.
no state police, nothing.
No, that's the real part.
Yeah.
Lee is a dude. Okay, never mind. I thought Lee was a woman.
Yeah, I thought he was, because his son writes part of the books now. His son's done some guest writing. So it's Lee Child and whatever his son's called, I think, Tony or something like that. Anyway,
Well, they gotta spice it up, guys. They gotta spice it up.
yeah.
Hopefully, people don't really believe that's how it is, but unfortunately, they're people, and they probably do.
Well, the one thing about Reacher, and I take nothing away from Tom Cruise, because I do like him as an actor, but he could never really play the... Because I read the books before I saw Tom Cruise as...
That's what my friend said. They're like, that just doesn't work for
and
me.
It's like, you can't do that, because he just doesn't compare to the book.
Right.
That's what spoilt it for me.
Yeah.
I think if I'd seen him doing it in the first place before I read the book, it might have been different. But I was like, no, man, you're not built to be Reacher. You're just
Right.
not, you're
Yeah.
just not big.
I always the thing that cracks me up about it. And it's where I have to immediately suspend disbelief because I know a lot of military MP people. They're not high speed like that.
No.
The Special Investigative Unit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're not like they're not like Spec Ops, are they? Really, they put themselves.
it's a
out
kind of a
there.
cool angle though, right? Because
Yeah.
Lee Child's like, all right, how many CIA and FBI super agent books are there?
Yeah.
A gazillion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make mine some military spec ops investigation
Spec op
unit,
policeman.
you know, with the rebel officer who never fit in as an officer. Call me Reacher. Stop all that sir stuff. All that shit, you know. I'm like, oh man.
It's a good angle. I mean, most of the Royal Military Police that I know are scrawny Weasley types that would stab you in the back the minute they look at you. You know what I mean? So
Always pulling you out of some bar in Hong Kong and trying to make you go home.
exactly. Causing trouble. I mean, what's that all about?
I'm just having that, trying to have a cocktail with
Just having fun.
with our local hosts.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's the suspend disbelief. But every one of those is the same thing, right? It's always some
Yeah, yeah.
impossibly,
You've got to sell the book, haven't you?
some impossibly capable person, you know. Otherwise, it'd be boring if you just showed them pulling people over on base, you know, because they went 5 miles over in the 10-mile-an-hour zone. You'd
Yeah. You
that'd
wouldn't
be-
sell many books. Would
no, that'd be pretty boring, basically.
You? Oh dear. I'm sure O'Brute won't go there, mate.
Good point. Good point. All right, tanks. What? I don't know. Skoda T-17. We finished that. How'd we do? I don't know. We did okay. Let's look at it.
But yeah, I mean, it was something that you actually enjoyed to play because it was more of a medium than it was a light. I guess.
Yeah. Yep. So we did 100 battles. We got 59% win rate. We averaged 987, although that took a dive at the end. 711 assistance. 39% battles survived. That's a little low, unfortunately. Damage ratio 1.36, 2.2 destruction. Look at the armor use, Pilgrim. 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that terrible?
0. Average damage blocked by armor 2.1.
Yeah.
Not even enough to get. Holy cow! Didn't even move the needle. That was bad. I had a couple good games, and I did show some replays of it. I don't think I have another replay. I might, but I don't think so. What is happening here?
Are you gonna? You got one for Miserable Monday, or you've already done that?
I don't know. I'll have to look at it whether we have any. Maybe, but if I do, it's me getting blowed up. There's some weird overlay now for Discord. I don't know why I have it, but I need to figure it out. It's overlaid on my game. I don't know if you guys can see it.
No, we can't see it on screen.
No, you can't. Okay. Also, all my little icon stuff's all messed up because I'm so into prepping for this. All right. So that's what we did with that. Shall we move on to shilling?
We can do.
Yeah, let's do
Because
this.
there's a lot of Irish stuff going on, isn't there?
There's all kinds. There's actually lots of
Has
stuff.
your battery run out yet? Is
No.
your battery not run
No,
out?
baby, she's
No.
holding on, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, okay. We'll go with that.
Let's make it. It's still.
Yeah, made in China.
It
Well,
came with
yeah.
damage, man.
Yeah,
It suffered
came
greatly.
slightly soiled, didn't it?
It suffered greatly in the passage from the Great Wall
I'm sure it did.
to the Grand
Sure it
Canyon.
did. I'm sure it did. It was probably on that balloon that was floating above your place. You know what I mean?
That, it might have been. Maybe they dropped it. Maybe that's how they actually deliver. They. Is that what the balloons are doing? They're dropping packages.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Amazon, but from China.
All right. Let us go to. Oh, stop that. All right. What's for sale, friends? Premium shop. Everything's for sale. Buy. Guess what? Boxes.
Yep.
Boxes. Anybody buy a box? Who bought a box? I got one tank. I got 50 free boxes. If you want to see how that went, there's a video that you can go watch on my YouTube page. But I did open 50 that they gave me. As usual, you can't buy 50. Why can't you buy 50? Because that's the break point for the free tank.
Yeah. 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 Of course it is. But it's too well. I know, but it's to be fair. There's nothing different for wargaming, is it? That's the way they've always done it, and that's the way they will always do it.
Kedge, do you want
Want
to
to go?
go ahead?
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it is the way they'll do it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You got no say in the matter. Andy actually, look at him. He actually smashed it. Andy did it for 100 quid. So he got
98.
50 boxes then. Yeah.
You got the 150 box. Got all the
Must have
tanks.
gone for 9, yeah, surely.
And some compensation. So, do you want me to? What I was going to say is, Kedge, do you want me to feed the conspiracy theory?
Let's do it.
All right. You know, it's the old CC RNG, and we all get the boxes early, and then we all hurry up and do a box opening, and then we post a video. Well, I didn't have
Yeah.
time the first day.
All right, okay. So you got dropped out then?
I did it the next day or the later that day. So I didn't do it right at the beginning. So apparently my CCRNG had worn off.
Yeah, you see, it only lasts for 3 minutes. You only get 3 minutes.
That whole thing cracks me up, man. Just the thrash to get stuff out, to be the first to get your box opening out
Oh, yeah.
and all this garbage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I opened my 50 in the afternoon after I got home with a nice coffee. And you guys saw the results of all that. Or maybe it was even the next day. I guess it was the next day now that I think about it. Maybe in the morning. Anyway, it was, I think, the next day. And that's what we got. We got one tank. I got the prototypo.
Right. But how people? Okay, because you did 50, so you got one of them.
I only hit
Yeah.
the pity mechanic, yeah.
I was just going to say, yeah, the compensation was for what then? The hitting the same tank again.
Well, there's 3 brand new tanks.
And if you got those, then you got comp afterwards.
Correct. You'd have to have all 9 or 10 or whatever's in the whole thing.
Okay, all right.
There's actually one tank of the 5 or so. I think there's 8 tanks. There was one in the 5 that were already out that I also didn't have. So I had 4 that I didn't have. So I could have got one of the older, the T-54D. I don't have that
Okay.
for some reason. But I ended up with the prototype. So there's still 3 in that amount of boxes or in those boxes that I don't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those free things, best section. I don't get those probably because I don't spend enough money at Christmas time. That's right, Kedge. That's probably it. It's punishment. And they're never going to tell you because they're
Punishment,
secretly punishing you. You will not be getting a personal reserve a day, nor will you get 20,000 credits,
Yeah, you'll get nothing.
You'll get
Absolutely
nothing? and you will like it. You're going to get nothing and like
and
it.
And you've got to spend more money.
So Andy the Cupid got his whale hat on and made it happen.
You smashed it, yeah.
Grendel got all 4 tanks in 105 boxes. Were the 5 because you had a pity mechanic? Like you got a couple and then you just needed 5 more to get the pity mechanic?
Because he got compensation as well, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. So you actually did really well. That means you got 3 boxes within 55.
55,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, you did.
I think Andy the Cupid works for Wargaming.
Probably. He's a plant,
Yeah.
more than likely.
He's a plan, yeah.
Like an azalea or maybe a nice rose or something.
That's it.
K2 is the outstanding existing one. Okay. Yeah, I have the K2. All right, so yeah, boxes, fellas. I mean, that's obviously the thing. Then features more boxes, of course. We have the AMBT. This was last week as well, I believe. T77. There's also a pack for what is not a bad. God, I don't know if I can even say this anymore because honestly, it's a cyclical gun. 2 years ago, it was not a 2 or 3 years ago, it was not a bad heavy premium. I don't even know what to tell you now, but it's the FE 2001 little pew pew gun.
Yeah.
What else we got? I think that's pretty much it, guys. Battle Pass stuff. I can't buy anything there because I already did that. Blah, blah, blah. And then vehicles wise, same stuff. So not much going on there. Howsomever, let's see if you guys have figured this out. Did you know, Pilgrim, that there's I'm going to call it secret. It's not necessarily
Okay.
secret, but there is a
Okay.
web page where there's some random goodies for the Paint It Green event. Who knows about this?
No.
Did anybody find it? You can get a free box. It's one of the ways to get a free box. We'll talk about the others. Okay, Grendel has not found it. Cliffy finds everything. Wayne found it. All right, here it goes. So go to Paint It Green. Click. And then go, oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff I don't need to worry about, except that you kind of do, because if you slide all the way down to... Wait a minute, hold on. Get lucky rewards with our special web event. You have to click peek at your fortune. Let's take a peeky poo. My fortune says... Click on these, fellas, down here. Nice thing is, even if you missed the last few days, they're still there, so you can get them all.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. I will be clicking in a minute then.
Good news, Andy. You can still get everything. At least I could this morning. I just clicked all 3 of these this morning. There's 180 lucky seals. We'll talk about where you get those in a second. There's an emerald chest. Very nice. And I don't know why there's a camouflage net. As a matter of fact, there's 2 camouflage nets, which I can't... Oh, a class 2 and a class 3. So you're getting a heck of a deal there. And that's fairly random.
So this is from the client.
No.
Yeah, it's from
website.
the client. No, you've got to go to the website. Oh, okay.
Go to the website.
Yeah.
Find the article that says paint it green. Make sure you're
Got it. I'm going to do
sure,
it for both accounts now. I'm
Yeah.
just going to do it for both accounts and see what happens.
paint it green. And this is just, you don't have to do anything. It's each day it opens up. Really, there's some decals, another camouflage net, and 2D style. What you really want, I think anyway, are the 180 lucky seals and the emerald chest. Those are the 2 big things. Cliffy just put a link in there. Thanks, dude. That's for everybody. That'll get you right there.
Good.
All right, so that's cool. Do not sleep on that. You'll be able to figure that one out there. What else? There's the Steel Hunter event, and that's where you can get a bunch more of the lucky seals. You can get 900. We'll show you where you can use those. But if you play Steel Hunter, that's where you're going to get a bunch of seals. Cool, Andy.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
How did you get 5 already? Huh. I think you can club those seals, Catch. Clubbing baby seals. Way up north where it is cold, they ain't got much gold. So they make a living off the seals' skins they've sold. All right. This is all, this is all Steel Hunter stuff. You can get more lucky seals, 900. I'm gonna miss out on that part. Oh, see, Cliffy, that's the missing piece. Then I haven't been doing the daily mission. Does that mean I can't finish it? Maybe. What does this go to? The 19th. Okay, so I should just, provided I do the daily mission, get that. All right, cool. Now, if you want to use your seals, you're going to have to go. There's 2 places, unfortunately, you've got to freaking pay attention to with seals, chips, coins, keys, doodads that you... First one is, let's go to the store. You're going to have to come down here to this one, Event Rewards. Click on it. And here's the Steel Hunter. This also happens to have your maneuvers rewards. Oops. And your maneuvers. Oh, 2 maneuvers. Why is there? There's 2.
Yeah. Why is there 2 maneuvers?
I think because it's one's for tanks and one's for doodads. I don't know. Why do they have 2 maneuvers things? Is one of these actually for Onslaught? And they're just titled maneuvers? I have no idea, dudes. Okay, one's for bidding. Alright, anywho, 2 ways to get stuff. Steel Hunter Shamrock Showdown is what you want here. You're going to click on that and you can get stuff. You can get 2 more free emerald chests, but you need 900 coins. Coins are things you've been able to do for missions. We'll look at that in a second. The free ones we just got, etc. From what I can tell, it looks like you can pretty easily get to 900 for 1 free one. You can only do this twice. And then I'm guessing probably pretty much you're going to have to do Steel Hunter to get another 900 to do that again. I haven't done the math on how many of these things you can do, but I've got 680 already. So that's where that lives. Then there's this, which is the boxes. That's pretty standard, and same thing you can do with these on the website. The other one is Depot, and then this down here where the Homefront supplies are, this guy, the parachute, you click on that. Now we're dealing with the Spring Token Store, and these are the things you can get from mostly watching the Twitch stuff. We talked about this last week. This is where the Dicker Max and the Su-85i are. You need 45 coins. You can get 90 total of these. I'm actually well behind the power curve. I'm not even sure I'm going to get 45 at this point, but I think there's plenty of time to get at least 45. Right, Wayne? And it's unfortunate that these kind of things exist in 2 places, the store and the depot.
Yeah, because if you don't know, you don't know, do you? That's the thing.
Yeah. If you go to best,
Talk.
there. No, I don't have it actually. I don't have my free one either, but I think I did it in the afternoon yesterday, and it's a 24-hour clock, I believe. Also, it is a equipment and consumable sale, guys. So stock up on that stuff. 50% off. There's also different packages, but actually the packages, when they do the 50% off, the packages are no longer a deal. They're just 50% off.
They're just 50% off.
Yeah, they're a slight deal when it's 100%, but when they do the 50% off, it's just 50% off across the board. You spent 10 mil, Kedge. Wow. I did spend some. I topped off.
Okay.
I topped off a few. All right, so I wanted to talk about those. Let's see what else we got. Missions and specials. We got battle passes. Of course, battle pass is going on, so check your battle pass stuff. Make sure you're taking everything. Let me ask you this, Pilgrim. Do you have on your exterior button down here on the main page, does it show little red? You've got new stuff on it at all?
Let me have a look. No.
Click on it. Do you have new stuff? Once you click on it, do you now see little red things along the various stuff?
Oh, I'm on the EU. Would it matter?
Well, if you've got any of them. At least for me, fellas, and I don't know if this is true, if I go back out to the garage, I'm no longer seeing the little red "you have new stuff" here on the exterior button. Are you guys not?
It's called quick service now, isn't it? So you go on it. Oh, you're talking about.
I'm talking about exterior, the one to the right.
Exterior, yeah. Sorry.
In the past, if you had new camos or new decals or anything, there was a little red
You used to get a little
thing
red
there with a
dot,
number.
Yeah, no, I still get them.
I'm not-
Attachments, I've got them deckled. You're not getting them.
Nope. What I'm saying is, when you're in the garage itself, go back to the garage.
Oh, go back to the garage. Yeah.
That exterior button used to have a little red
Used to
marker
have a
next
little
to
red
it.
thing on it. Yeah, it doesn't have it now. No.
Right. I think they took it away from the garage, but when you click on it, then they
Yeah,
show
it
up
shows
on
you
down
there.
below there.
Yeah,
Is that what you guys are seeing?
that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. My point of that is click on it, because if you've been playing, you're going to have some decals, emblems, and stuff. And green paint. By the way, green paint you can sell. And they gave you a bunch for the missions.
Yeah.
And the grinning teeth I got for something. Those can be sold. Yeah, Coronal. Then you will hate this, Coronal. You're gonna absolutely hate this. See this camouflage? It shows me having one new camouflage. That will never go away for me. Because when I was a CC, they credited a camouflage too early. The NA guys did. And however they credited it or took it away, it still thinks I have a new one that I can't click on. So I can never make that little number one
That
go
is
away.
so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I do. That little "you have one new thing" on my camouflage right there will never go away.
Zimbo never got up early enough for the coffee talk. Well done, Zimbo. Well, you're going to miss even something more. You're going to miss something more because I've not had a chance to speak to Guido, but I'm going to have to go within the hour. So when we get the first break, I'm going to have to go.
All right. Well, we're at that point, man.
Sorry.
We're at that point.
Are we? Oh, okay.
All right. What do you got, man? You gonna go get an ice cream? I know. You're gonna go climb a mountain and train.
No, I'm going to actually go and wash the bike because we went to our equivalent of Arlington yesterday as a group, the students.
Yeah.
And so we went to, it's called the National Arboretum, and it's up in Litchfield. And the weather was supposed to be dry and bright, a bit cold but dry and bright. But of course, Pilgrim's on his bike, isn't he? So it's never going to be dry and bright, is it? So
Well, yeah.
it just
15
howled
minutes
down.
later. Oh man. Yeah.
It was nice for the first 15 minutes. Then it howled down for 20, just on me.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Followed
And
you
then
along.
It went, yeah, it followed me. It was about this high off the top of my head, this cloud. Just followed me all the way. And then, yeah, exactly, when it was getting you. And then it dried up for everybody else. And I was like, yeah, that's great, isn't it? So, no, I'm not cleaning my bike. I'm not dropping it. No, we've got the granddaughters coming round early.
Awesome.
Because it's my youngest one's birthday.
Oh, beautiful.
Next week during the week. So
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
something early. So
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to take 5 minutes, say goodbye to Pilgrim. Pilgrim, say goodbye to everybody. But I will be back. Give me 5 minutes to go refresh me coffee, and we'll be right back at it. 5 minutes, guys.
Cool. Take it easy.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what? If you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Watt community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So we broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR. Win 8 and damage counts. That a mortal man is only stuff of dreams. Win your flank and then go back, was his mantra for the pact to which they shouted. Yes, bossman, that we will. Win our flank and then flex back. Guido is his name. Tanky is his game. Guido. Guido is his name. Tanking is his game.
Alright guys, we were back. Give me a second to see if I can get this. May have to bring the stream down and back up if I can't get the camera to accept the situation, which it appears I cannot. And the situation is that Discord and OBS hate each other. Alright, I'm going to bring it down and come right back up, guys. I am guessing that maybe there is something I can do in the settings to reset that. I don't know, but the only fix I've come up with is obviously I have to shut down the stream because I have to shut down OBS and restart OBS, and then it allows the OBS to see and use the camera again. I'm guessing there's a way to do that that I just haven't been able to figure out other than the way I'm doing it. All right, got a new coffee. Let's see what else we got going on. Battle Pass, we talked about boxes. We talked about the coins. We talked about Paint It Green. We talked about your Battle Pass vault is already open in case you didn't know. I don't have any indication that hoarding the Battle Pass vault points is going to do anything for you. As you can see, I spent mine. I grabbed some bonds. There isn't an open box, Cliffy. We are going to open it 100%. In fact, we'll do it right now. But I don't think there's a reason to hoard these points, so save up to get what you want. The crew members may be the best deal here, but whatever. I have so many crew. I just grabbed some bonds because I'm kind of low on bonds, so we'll see. Don't know. You guys let me know what you think there. Let's open the box. Let's see what happens. Is this where it all gets? Let's have the animation too. So if it turns green, we know we have a tank right away. Here we go. Wish me luck. Nope. Just stuff. Decent amount of credits. I'll take that. Oh, and I'm 49. See, now I'm tempted. Now I need to buy buy chests. All right. Well, better than nothing, right? It was 50,000 free points, free whatever's. I'll get another box too, because if we go into missions, we didn't talk about that. If you go into missions, you can see all the things. Shamrock Cornucopia, this is where you're getting the points, and it looks like it's 180 a day to the 19th. So I've got 16, 17, 18, so I don't think 19th counts. So 180 times 3. I don't think I'm going to get to 900 again. I do one of those, I'll get to 900, then I'm going to get 360. So it looks like I'd have to play some Steel Hunter probably to get a few more and get the extra box. Yeah, it isn't 1-to-1, you're right. It isn't 1-to-1. Yeah, that is a bummer. Yeah, I would have to do Steel Hunter to do it. And do I want to do Steel Hunter to get another box? I do not. 2 tanks in your 25 box. Nicely done, Winterlander. I'm sure it's the way you clicked. You clicked correctly. T54 and the new Swedish TD. Not that interested in the Swedish TD, if I'm honest. T54 looks cool. What's the other one? The heavy? No, the other medium. What's the other medium? Oh, the German medium looks actually kind of cool too. I wouldn't mind that. Right, Cliffy? Because if I start playing Strongholds, then I won't be able to crawl under the sink and try to take faucets out. And where would I be then? That would be a bummer. All right, subjects du jour, guys. Hey, let's take a look at what's going on here. Dog hair floating around in my face. Let's go to Tank Coach, guys. Excuse me. I guess the second season of Tank Coach is out. You can find that right here. Heavy Fundamentals. Now let's go ahead and put this somewhere where you guys can hear it. Where are my headphones? There we go. Ooh, that's loud.
Hello, tankers. This is Season 2. Here, you will learn about the vehicle types and their roles.
Sorry. Can you hear it?
Let's start with heavy tanks. These are the team's backbone and its reliable shield. Heavy tanks are the best vehicle type for newcomers because their armor and HP pool forgive mistakes.
Okay, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Why can't this thing... What on earth? That's wild, actually. Huh. Okay, don't know why I can't control that now. Barely? Alright, I'll turn it up slightly. So armor and HP pool, forgive mistakes. Okay.
Playing heavy tanks will teach you how to absorb hits, fight for key positions, and trade hit points. Sometimes that's already enough for victory.
Okay, fair enough.
Heavy tanks can vary greatly. Starting from Tier 6, they're conditionally divided into 4 subtypes called roles.
4 subtypes called role. I like conditionally. They only have so much time. They're trying to do this quick. There's a lot in between the lines on this. The word conditionally is hugely important. Conditionally means it depends on the situation and what you're doing, and you may have to do something else than your role. But that's not really explained. The problem with that rabbit hole is that's a long discussion.
Assault heavy tanks are usually the sturdiest vehicles. They typically choose one flank and push it to the end.
No. 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 Again, there's a lot of rabbit holes there. I wish they wouldn't have said push it to the end. I get typically is the kind of qualification, but that is not helping us. That is not help. Anyway, I call that kind of misinformation to some extent. I understand where it's coming from, but that's painful. Also, I love how they just show them pushing right down the center of that part of that map. That is a great way to die. Heavy assault tank or no. You're just going to get crushed. But anyway.
They have the most armor and hit points.
Where does damage... His like little damage thing went away. That was weird.
Assault heavies are effective in positional play on the front line, gradually breaking the enemy defense.
But that just gives you the picture that if I have 2 assault heavies, I just roll people over.
Breakthrough heavy tanks boast a combination of armor and maneuverability. These vehicles often sacrifice some hit points for speed and a more aggressive playstyle. They're capable of both frontal attacks and flanking maneuvers.
All right, that's fair enough. Fair enough. That position you just saw them push would have to be an end game thing. Otherwise, the snipers up on the hill and back there will destroy you because you came rushing out the back of that building. And I realize you can't provide every context when you make pictures and videos like this, but still, something to think about.
The role of a versatile heavy tank speaks for itself.
Does it, though? The role of a versatile heavy tank speaks for itself. Okay.
These vehicles can be used in almost any situation. Versatile heavies often have good gun depression angles.
I would contend all the tanks can be used in any situation, but okay.
Allowing them to play from hull-down positions, exposing only their turrets. They might not be as sturdy as assault heavies or as maneuverable as breakthrough vehicles, but their balanced characteristics give them freedom of action.
Unsaid here, the freedom of action they're talking about is gun depression, which opens up a significant amount of the map that tanks without gun depression can't use. That's the real bottom line of the versatility. Right?
Support heavy tanks differ from other heavies the most. They're often equipped with autoloaders, dishing out a lot of damage in a short time. This makes them more of a fire support vehicle than the main striking force. However, they're still heavy tanks that should fight on the front line.
Wayne, unfortunately, I think yes, to some extent. And I think maybe to the detriment of really leaning into what they think the role is. Right? I'm a TD, I sit in a bush. I'm a heavy tank. I sit in a. I mean, this is not bad. It did say if you got a lot of armor, you need to be up front fighting. I got that, but it sort of gives the idea that I just drive forward because I have a lot of armor. That's not great. Sit in a bigger bush. That's right. You're gonna need a bigger bush. But it's tough, man. It's tough because there's a lot more in here gameplay wise, and they're trying to kind of hit the highlights.
As you can see, heavy tanks of different roles perform the same job but in different ways.
When I first saw this, I'm like, they've got a heavy with rockets trying to cross the field in Malnovka. I was about to lose my mind, but here's why they did this.
No heavy tank in the game is designed for scouting or sniping from a bush.
That's all right. I like that. I like that. Of course, the other side of that is sometimes your heavy tank can scout depending on the position and all that good stuff. But still, good point, right? Especially the bush thing. I like that.
Tanks below Tier 6 don't have specific roles.
By the way, the 65T that got blown up in the bushes could have done that if he'd have backed up, right? 15 meters. he happened to... The real mistake he made, obviously I didn't like his positioning, but if he was going to sit there, he needed to be back away from the bush, and he could sit there and snipe and shoot all day. As a matter of fact, that tank's got an okay accuracy, so really, it's also a crap heavy tank. Maybe it's better off sniping sometimes. You know what I mean? This was crazy to me right here, this next thing.
Below Tier 6 don't have specific roles, but are generally played similarly to the subsequent vehicles in their branches.
They don't? Okay. What? That was a weird statement to me. I mean, yeah, I don't think they broke them into specific roles. And at Tier 6, especially I think at Tier 5, maybe even 4, there's only a couple heavies at Tier 4, actual heavies. That was a weird statement. I think I understand what they were getting at. They're a little more homogenous at the lower tiers. And I've said that before. There's not a whole big difference. But really at Tier 6, they said Tier 6 and below, but there's a very big difference between a T-150 and a Sherman on how you would play it. That really a T-150 is a heavy. Even a KV-1 at Tier 5 is running as a heavy. It works as a heavy. It's not a medium. So the roles are more or less the same. Oh, below Tier 6. Didn't they say Tier 6 and below? Hold on.
Or sniping from a bush. Tanks below Tier 6 don't have...
I stand corrected, below Tier 6. But even at Tier 5, you got a KV-1. So I think the comment is the same. There are heavy tanks. I don't think they break them into roles. Let's check that out. What do they say? I guess at Tier 5 they just say heavy tank. Never really paid attention to that, to be honest. Mostly because their role stuff is BS as far as I'm concerned, but light tank. Interesting. Where does it say that on the other one? Go to Tier 10. Role. Okay. So role is right below the type. So at Tier 6 it has role. Is that true? Okay, versatile light. Got it. And at Tier 5. Okay, so they don't do that at Tier 5 and below. Interesting. It's just a light, medium, or heavy for some reason. There you go. Rolls start at tier 6.
Specific roles, but are generally played similarly to the subsequent vehicles in their branches.
Generally, okay. Oh, this is great right here.
Now, let's equip vehicles for battle. Let's start with crew perks. For any heavy tank, the repairs perk comes first. Since you're fighting...
Does it? KB85 is versatile and has no depression. Do any of you have repairs on your heavies anymore? I don't. I don't even use it. Zimbo does. Really? There are so many better skills than repairs. I think that repairs is most important is from about 5 years ago. Brothers in Arms camo repair on almost all tanks. Okay. Wow. That's crazy, guys. I do not use repairs basically anymore. Not with the kits. Don't like getting permatracked. I don't... Honestly, I don't get permatracked very much. I get tracked a lot trying to move from positions. It seems like everything that hits me tracks me on the first one. But you have a repair kit usually, and you have a cooldown. That's really interesting. I disagree with that. Let's check this out. Hold on. Let's go to... Maybe I'm the crazy one. Let's go to heavy tanks. All right, this is skills index here. Standard heavy tank. Let's go with, I don't know, Toro. What does he say to do with crew? Wow, he's got repairs first. That blows my mind. I would not have guessed that. He actually does repairs then Brothers in Arms. Recon, emergency, coordination, sound detection on 6th. Is that what he's got on all his heavies? Maybe that's why I'm not good at the game. If I get back out of that. There we go. Contender, same thing. Yep. Wow. There you go. I don't know anything. I don't know why you would. You have a kit. Bait shots and then poke and get a shot in. Can't do that with a long repair time. That's true. That's true. I can't bait shots with tracks. That gets me pinned every time. That is not a skill I've ever had in this game. Every time I do anything like that, I get pinned. So knowing how far to put it out, I just... That feels like a crapshoot to me. I don't put repairs on all crew. Get the repair down to 6-ish seconds. Okay, there you go. That's another option. That's really interesting, guys. I don't do that. All right, well, there you go.
On the front line, your tracks will often be destroyed. This perk will accelerate their repair and increase your survivability. The practicality perk reduces the cooldown time of repair kits and first aid kits.
I mean, that blows my mind. Now, I don't think skill then prioritizes probably, yeah, view range. So he's going to go skills. He's going to go repair, brothers, view range stuff. That I 100% agree with. He did that with the radio operator. He takes that first. That makes sense because the radio operator is on the commander on that tank.
Brothers in Arms is always useful for all types, including heavy tanks. Sound detection will alert you to enemy artillery fire in advance and reduce the effect of stun.
I don't know. Other than reducing the effect of stun, I find sound detection almost useless. Especially in a heavy. It's not like you're going to be able to dodge out of the way.
Side by side will boost tank characteristics
That's
if
good.
there are allied vehicles near you. We've named only several useful perks, so train them and experiment. Now about equipment. Improved hardening provides a bonus to tank and track HP and percent.
Yeah, it might be new players, yeah. Yeah, get those repairs in so you can not be tracked and pinned down as much. Because they'll make mistakes where they'll get tracked. That's a good point.
Percentage terms, meaning heavies gain the most from it. A gun rammer is a must-have for all vehicles with cyclic guns. A turbocharger is an excellent choice for vehicles that don't have a high enough top or reverse speed. A vertical stabilizer allows you to hit targets more often without being fully aimed. Usually, you would select equipment from these 4 pieces.
You know what's fascinating about that to me? Those are essentially the same top pieces of equipment, even after the big equipment rework. I know that hardening was added at some point, but that's essentially the same loadout that we've played with the heavy for ever. No real big difference there.
But if the vehicle is prone to fire and other failures, try using modified configuration. Improved ventilation will
Or firefighting
also
on the
be
crew.
useful. Here, you have the choice and freedom to experiment. Everything is more or less the same for experimental equipment. Just mount an experimental analog instead of the regular hardening, stabilizer, or turbocharger. It's preferable to install the level 3 version.
The only problem is that the radio operator, I believe, is your firefighting thing. If your radio operator is on another crew member, which it usually is, you're only ever going to get 3, and using firefighting on that really loses out on some pretty good skills. You know, the whole firefighting thing has become kind of a pain in the rear.
Field modification is fine-tuning of an elite vehicle that can slightly improve some characteristics at the cost of the effectiveness of other ones. A quick tip for heavy tanks: mount lightweight suspension and sound insulation. Before going into
Lightweight suspension and sound insulation. Lightweight suspension. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. And sound insulation. Ooh. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Is that what skill says? What does skill say? Field mods. No, field mods. Nope. Prioritize vision. Lightweight he agrees with. Prioritize vision. That's what I thought he would say. Yeah, I don't agree with that piece. Do not agree with that piece. Yeah, I don't worry about stun very much. I don't really take anything that's going to help me with stun necessarily. If it's a byproduct of something that I put on, that's fine. I would always prioritize view range, though. Not because I think I'm going to be a scout, just because view range always helps.
to battle, you need to study the armor of your heavy tank.
True.
Watch a video guide on YouTube. Find the armor model on dedicated websites or use the penetration indicator in training rooms with friends. You can even have a duel.
Have a duel. You can even have a duel. And you have to spend silver to do
The
it.
tank is equipped and combat ready. But what do? Where do you go?
Where do you go?
If your tank has good gun depression, head to a location where you can play from a hold down position.
Good advice. Lots of rabbit holes. Don't just go to hold down spots because that's a hold down spot. Pay attention to what your team's doing. But if you don't have a plan other than that, it's a good start.
This is usually uneven terrain or cover that you can hide your entire hull behind.
Was that a Yag Panther trying to go hold down with him right there?
You do. Where do you go? If your tank
No, is that a Panther 2? It's a Panther 2. Okay.
has good gun depression, head to a location.
No, it's a
where you
Yag
can
Panther.
play
It's a
from
triangle.
down position. This is usually uneven terrain or cover
Oh, poor Yag Panther tried to push.
that you can hide your entire hull behind. Remember whether your sides are strong. Many heavies are capable of side scraping, which most
That's a good
vehicles
point.
of other types can't do effectively. Don't ignore this advantage. Low embankments, rocks, the wrecks of other vehicles, and side scraping. All these will let you hide your lower glacis.
The C-100 is doing something really important that doesn't get mentioned. See how he's taking on this, whatever it is? I can't really see it, but this 50B, I think it is. So he's side scraping his hull. He's also got his turret turned. I'm not really sure why he's gone the other way and he hasn't turned the turret to the right. That's an odd way to do it, but okay. Seems like he's already got some angle the other way. There may be an advantage to doing it this way. Maybe it just complicates everything. I don't know, but I would normally be keeping my turret angle to the right to maybe slightly increase the angle for the turret bouncination right there. But anyway, that's what he's doing, which doesn't get mentioned here.
It's a vulnerable spot for most heavies. If you hide your hull, or at least its lower part, your chances of surviving the positional period of the battle will grow significantly.
So good point, hide your hull, but also angling your turret can be important too. I mean, I would have taken another couple words and you could have actually, mentioned that. See that he's doing it again, and that's good stuff, but I don't know if people really understand what's going on there.
Some support heavy vehicles can't withstand hits at all, whether it's their turret or sides. In this case, wait until the enemy reloads or just trade hit points. Just make sure the trade is in your favor.
Enemy U-100 isn't turning his hull and his turret at the same time, so that cost him. This is a great point right here.
Remember to use your hit points. If there's one low HP tank in front of you, forget about blocking damage and just finish it off.
That seemed like a really lucky hit, to be honest. I mean, I think he got maybe into the shoulder. I'm not really sure what he shot. I might have waited a little further to get more of a side shot, but it worked. Yeah, exactly, Zimbo.
Check where other players in similar vehicles go. Memorize key positions. Keep an eye on the
I mean, is a KV-2 and a Churchill really similar? I don't know.
mini-map and score to attack and repeat promptly. Heavy tanks usually
Ow.
are the fastest, but they all can and must move. Movement is life, especially when you move from cover to cover and not in the open field. And most importantly,
Oh! 1,000. Ouch!
reinforce all your theoretical knowledge with practice. Good luck on the battlefield.
Yeah, make sure when you're showing a new person about heavies, you show them the KV-2, which is a total outlier heavy at tier 6. And make sure you also show them ammo racking somebody for 1150. Oh, yeah. All right, there you go. There you go. I mean, it's not terrible. There's some good points in there. There's a couple things I think are misleading. There's a couple things left out they could have added in there, but the standard thing with all those, you can't touch everything. I make a video, I try to talk about something, I can't touch every single piece of it. But there you go. Wasn't bad. All right, let's see what is going on here. Some garbage things. I'll tell you what, the What Are You is leaning into the new tank thing. Just absolutely leaning into it. They do, yeah. They're definitely getting better, Kedge. We got the Erland double barrel thing. Weird. This is after World War II. Poland was left with unprotected Baltic Sea coastline. As a result, the Naval Command considered the development of coastal defense tank. That's wild. Okay, another What Are You? Who cares? A captured mouse. What Are You? That's interesting. Another What Are You thing. Okay, nothing else there. Want to get further in. Blitz. All right, so we've got this E65 Zwilling, a Tier 8 German heavy tank. It looks like a kind of E75-ish TS thing, but it's a double barrel. 280 alpha, 221 pen, 273 with APCR, decent shell velocity, a fast reload time, and a fast aiming and a good accuracy at .33, but apparently its thing is it's a long lockout if you shoot 2 barrels. So, whatever. Then we got this kind of crazy thing, the VZ60S, which is a Czech Tier 10. It has a bunch of extra armor on it. Kind of hanging down, a lot of spaced armor. And it said it's made of filler elements, polyurethane and steel plates and whatnot. So it's got a bunch of extra armor. I guess that's going to be its gig. I think we've got some stats on it. Maybe further along here. Painted grain we talked about. That's what are you? What are you? What are you? What are you? I thought there was... Huh. Maybe there weren't stats on it. I could have swore I saw them somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. All right. We'll go back to that thing in just a second. So this dude, the 60S, what's its armor look like? 90. Turret's 310. So it doesn't really say what its numbers are for the whole spaced thing. Apparently it's got some kind of spaced armor stuff going on. 450 alpha gun, this is tier 10, so it doesn't hit too hard. 11-second reload, 258 pen, 315 with APCR. What's its speed? 40. Cyclical gun. I think it's just a single shot gun. I guess its thing is its armor. I don't think this shows spaced armor on it. Not really. 90, 310. That's a good turret. Here's the interesting thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you guys are talking about Tragic leaving. You know, people come and go. I think the writing's on the wall. They've kind of, I think they've basically got rid of all the NA folks. I don't even know if there's any NA folks really left. They probably have some technicians and stuff to do the basic stuff, and maybe some business types. You know, background people or back-end dudes and gals doing that stuff here in NA. But as far as personalities from NA, that's gone. Yeah. Yep. She put a post in Reddit. She posted on Reddit, I think. Said basically, thanks for all the games. Goodbye and thanks for all the fish. Chieftain's still around. Well, you know, he's got that tank expert thing going on, so that, you know, holding him on as a SME for stuff is probably a good idea on their part. Yeah, Commander AF off to turn the lights off. You think that's what it was, Coronal? I don't know. I'm not on the CC and CA Discord anymore, so as far as any scuttlebutt on that, I have absolutely zero. Don't know. Apparently, guys, EU1 is holding tests, at least that's the guess on what they're seeing on EU1 for the new matchmaker. So this is supposedly an example of that, you know, for what it's worth. What do we have here? Attempting to match tanks. I don't really believe this because 2 KV5s, an M3Y, and a Tiger 2. What? Skoda T56. This looks like a game from 3 years ago. Okay, Borosk's. A Borosk and they even matched the meal because that's different than a Borosk. Okay, got it. Oh, 2 Panther 2s. This looks like BS. Two Progettos. What? This is fake. There's no way that there's a game with a Panther 2, a Tiger 2, and a KV5. Come on. Nobody believes that. A bulldog? What? You can't see it because of my camera, but for some reason the 6x6s are not matched up in the same spot. I don't quite understand that. This team got a ELC even 90, but the other team didn't. You haven't noticed anything? They said it's already going on. This, as I said, this is just rumor mill shit. Yesterday, according to Watt Express, take that with a grain of salt and what it's worth, the first test of the revised matchmaking took place on EU1. Matches appeared to be more mirrored. However, based on a limited number of battles, it remains unclear whether the +1 or -1 matchmaking spread was more common. I don't even know if there's any more here. There's a couple examples. There's multiple examples of team composition. Autoloaders matched. Honestly, none of these are problematic tank. These are crazy setups. You don't see any of the usual suspects in here. What about this one? 2 M60s? What on earth? Come on. This is such a weird. There's a Selma, so at least that's a newer tank. The G-Sword tank and the standard matched up together. That's good. Char footer. An M103? Goodness gracious. What else here? Nice TD heavy game. That's what we see on NA a lot of. Now here's one I believe. DBVs? Yeah. 4005s? Absolutely. People love those things now. There's 5 F4005s in this game and 4 DBVs. And then, for good measure, an FV with the big gun. So essentially there's 6,000 alpha guns in the game. Then the sad face 750 alpha used to be the king 110E4. I believe that one. That looks like a modern game right there. Oh, AMX 65T. Sweet. 2 Contradictus against a Nurgle T32 and an M3. WZ and then a 252U. Some autoloaders, Progettos, and a Mars. I don't know, I don't see much there. Tier 6 game. Another tier 10. Oh, this is a top tier. Perfect. A DBV, an FV, and a 110. Awesome. A 4005, a grill. Great. Lots of examples here, fellas. So, theoretically, they are testing all that stuff. Don't know. The DBVs suck. I'm tired of seeing them. I'm with you. Especially in light tanks, because of the accuracy of the gun and the 800 alpha and they shoot HE. They just absolutely destroy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, every time I see a DBV, if I see a 4005, I expect to get hit by it. DBVs are entering into that pantheon of things that if the enemy team has it, my light tank's going to get hit by it. And I should just get good, fellas. I should stop exposing myself to these tanks. Problem is, if you do that, then you're hiding. You're doing a lot of hiding. Lots of hiding. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm on a light tank. Gotta quit getting hit. Honestly, just play DBV safe. I don't know, Corona. Maybe I would like to see skill based just to see what happens. That's true, Grendel. You have to be prepared for the consequences if you're going to do it. You can't act like you didn't know. DBVs and XMs ruin. Yeah, they're a pain. I don't worry about the XM57s too much, but I play a lot of light tanks and mediums, so I don't encounter them much until the end of the game. That's kind of where I am, Wayne. I mean, it's a good point. Why not at this point? Based on the situation we have, I've always been very much against the skill-based stuff. But at this point, based on how bad it is, it can't be worse. And might be interesting. Maybe. I don't know if you have enough people, though, on NA to do any kind of ranking system, like bracket system. And I don't know what kind of skill-based we're even talking about. That's the first thing when people talk about skill-based. Is it just evening out the skill levels of players, meaning that every skill level could be in a match, but if you got a really good one in a certain area, you have to have another good one there, and bad, or medium, or maybe you just average the team. I don't know. What does it look like? Is it a ranked system? Is it a bracketed system? I don't know. Keys to look at the games that are balanced. Yeah. If you did ranks, the best players wouldn't be able to play. Well, if you did a tiering system, you'd be playing each other the whole time, for sure. Especially on NA. That's kind of the idea of the rank system, though, anyway, isn't it? You either get promoted or relegated, depending on how you do. So there's some movement. But you won't be playing bad players. Or if you're bad, you only play bad players until you prove you're better. Less pros versus schmoes. And then you've got the plus-minus matchmaker. Plus-minus 2 really complicates that. You could use PR. But then what are you doing? Are you just, all right, so PR 1,000 to 2,000 plays each other and 2 to 3 plays each other, or I take all the players and I try to get the same total amount of PR on one team as the other kind of idea, add them together, average it, or however, I don't know. Then there's that one. Use the tank, not your personal whatever it is, personal ranking, and then yeah. So depending on the tank you pick up, which could be painful, just because you're good at a tank, all of a sudden now if you're going to do a bracket system with that would suck. Because people do argue that the WTR would be more accurate, while for that person in that tank. That's the headache of it, man. I mean, I don't even know what we didn't touch on there. That there's a dozen variables we just talked about. It's always easy to say, do X. The second question when someone says that should always be, all right, how? Well, just do X. Yeah. Tell me how. Give me the details. And people so often do not have any of those. Someone will figure it out. One day I'm going to meet someone, and we're going to have words, because someone has not done a lot of stuff that they were supposed to do. That's where we are, Cliffy. That's where we are. I think it's more a tank balance problem than a person balance, to be honest. The tanks are the kind of the X factor. We could ask ChatGPT how to fix Matchmaker. Let's see what it says. Give me 3 ways Wargaming can make their World of Tanks Matchmaker better. Here we go. Implement a more balanced tier spread, plus or minus 1 for more balanced fights. Or introduce weighted matchmaking, where lower tier tanks face fewer high tier opponents. Improve team composition balance. Better heavies, mediums, there you go. This is the tank balance problem. Ensure both teams have similar distribution of tank types. Adding a skill-based matchmaker without breaking random battles would also help prevent extreme mismatches. That's a combo then of tanks and players. So that's the team combo. Reduce queue time versus match quality trade-offs. How is that the current priority is fast queue time, sometimes leading unbalanced teams. I don't think that's a tail wagging the dog thing. Allow slightly longer queue times in exchange for better bounce. I mean, that is something you would have to do if you did these up here. I don't think that in and of itself, because it would simply be using the current matchmaker, and the current matchmaker, the rules are based on wanting a fast queue time, but the rules are the rules. So you'd have to change the rules, and these are the rules up here, not the amount of, I don't know, especially for 2 minutes. Huh. That's kind of weird. That's two things with a kind of follow-on thing if you do these things. That's very interesting how it put that. There you go. Kind of what we talked about. That's what ChatGPT thinks. That's what our AI overlord thinks about it. Several counts are all bad. You know, a research paper and find a matchmaker indicated that random outperforms skill-based in player retention terms. Well, I've talked about that a lot, to be honest with you. One of the reasons we play this game is so that we can have good games. And theoretically, the outcome of more even games are more even games, which means you don't have big games anymore, right? That if that's the goal, I want more balanced games. Cool. That means you're going to have to accept that the vast majority of the time, not just the majority of the time, you're not going to have big games because that's not going to be as possible. There still will be people who can do that, by the way. Your outliers will still do that. What that looks like within that system might change. So it might be that if you did that, a 10,000 damage game is not really in the offing anymore, but now it's 7,000 damage game, and that's the new high bar. Now that'll look worse than the past, where 10,000 was kind of that huge outlier based on the rules, but it will still be the good players will be outliers on whatever system you put in. But going back to retention, you're just the more even you make it, the less you're going to have outliers. And that might be less interesting to people, because every now and again now, get a really crappy enemy team, or they make super mistakes, or you have a really good tank and they suck, and all these things come together, and next thing you know, you've got that 8, 9, 10,000 damage game. You're like, oh, that was cool. I'm sticking around for that one. Maybe I can have another one 4 months down the road. Destructive Dan with the watch streak, man. Thank you. Wish they could fix the 42% win rates. Man, I cover that a lot. We talk a lot about that. I do the miserable Monday. I get angry at players, but honestly, fellas, in the heat of the moment, when I see someone like that, I'm like, that's just somebody being dumb on purpose. But not necessarily. Could be a 10-year-old. Could be somebody who legitimately is not, the brightest individual. They like it. They play the tank game. They have almost no idea what they're doing, and it doesn't matter. So it's hard to get mad at that. I think you have to separate getting angry at the individual with being upset with the situation, right? You don't want that 42% player in the heavy sitting by Artie. Nobody wants that. But at the same time, on an individual basis, individual map, it's who knows who that person is or what's going on with that person. And that's I struggle. It's hard. If you're competitive, you want everybody to be interested in getting better, or even to have the capability. That's not necessarily what's going on. Not everybody is going to be able to get better because they simply don't have the capability or desire, or a combination of the two. Yeah. Let's go back to Yeah, I love that idea, but it doesn't work. The idea that you have to achieve a certain percentage, because it's almost always based around your own skill. So I would say, all right, everyone has to be 55% better to get to tier 10. Okay, well, what's the point then? Nobody's going to want to grind and then not get there because they just can't play that well. Yeah, I had an IS the other day. I wish I could remember his name because it's a relatively new account, and you can tell that it's both a troll and the guy does play because he's got a couple lower tier tanks. It doesn't have many battles, 3,000 or 4,000, something like that. 60% win rate. Obviously knows how to play, but has a couple tanks that are in the 30s, high 30s, low 40s, and it was Mount Proc and top tier. I was in my Skoda T17, and he just drove to the back up on the hill, up on the track hill, and just sat there for a while. And then when the battle started going badly, we actually ended up winning, largely because of me and a couple other players, but not him. He didn't shoot. I don't think he shot at all. He had no damage. I know that. I don't think he shot. And then when it looked like maybe that we were losing the field area, he drove down into I'm trying to think about it. We were spawned in the north, so he went over to the east on the island, right? And parked next to the artillery that was up on the little island up there. It's not really an island. It's just that the river cuts it around and makes it look like an island. It's over the river on the hill, I guess, really. But he was clearly trolling because he was just typing away, and he wasn't being aggressive. He was just kind of trying to be funny, you know, that whole, I don't know, it's hard to explain. He thought he was being funny, but we won. Top tier heavy didn't do a single thing, and we ended up winning. Bye, Tor, how you doing? Well, it goes back to, I don't know what this guy's deal was. Based on what he was doing and what he was saying, I think this was probably an alt account that he just, for whatever reason, that's what he did with it. Played a little, you know, didn't have a lot of tanks on it. Had kind of just started, had gone up the Russian line pretty much, and I think a bit of the American line. Clearly knew about the game and what was going on. Knew that what he was doing was going to get people riled up. Typed in chat stuff like, you know, how did it go? Something like, I'm going to maintain my hit points and carry at the end or whatever. Stuff like that. And it was clearly just there to irritate people for that particular match. Whatever else he was doing with that account, that's what his plan was for that match. So, who knows? He probably has 2 other accounts. Might be a very good player. Unknown. That's right, Gator. Yeah. Yep. Don't think it was QB. No. Could have been. It was on NA. So, don't know. Don't know who it was. I can't remember the name, to be honest. Player win rate doesn't work. High win rate. Half of them lose and drop back down. Well, that's the other thing. Depends on the tier. Like, I'm not as good at tier 10. I have a 58%, whatever it is. I don't now. It's all built off the past, but that's another problem, right? Not the same player I was 5-6 years ago. So, do I get with the 58%ers? Do I get my current win rate? Do I get how I do in a tank? Some tanks I do really well in. Actually, I'd probably be in a different bracket with those tanks. And other tanks, right now with the Tessac, I'd be with the Reds. I'd be with the deep Reds. If I played the Tessac and they used tank rating, I'd be absolutely amongst the Reds, which would probably bring up my Tessac win rate at some point. So there you go. It might bring down my other win rates. He did spot stuff, Jimmy. There is no doubt that he found where a lot of the enemy tanks were. I remember him, man. I'd have him in a lot of battles because he played a lot of battles. Well, would it be other Tessacs or would it just be that? Well, it would be other Tessacs. That's right. Well, again, that's the question then. Does that mean then in my crappy Tessac I'd be matched with another crappy Tessac or with another crappy team? You know, holy cow. Theoretically, Gator, but I don't know at this point, based on how I've been playing this thing. I even have a really good... I got Yulia Winnefield in this thing. And April O'Neil and Leonardo. I should be dominating. Look at this crew. These guys rock. I can't do a daggum thing. In fact, I'm almost to my... Wow, 1, 2. I almost have these guys maxed out. That's crazy. Does it tell me how much I need? It doesn't say it, does it? I thought there was a way to know when your next doodad would be. Huh. I don't know. Is it here? No. Didn't it used to tell you when your next skill would show up? Is it here? No. Don't know. I'm close though. I'm 99%, although that could be quite a bit at this. That's crazy, actually. I wonder if I throw books at it, if I can get there. Let's find out. Training booklets. Oh, look at that. That one I can get right to it. Ooh, close. Look at that. What about training booklet? Oh, dang it. Universal Guides. Oh, son of a... Universal booklets. Oh, no. Come on, baby. Oh. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, Universal Manual. But that's for each crew member. You. Oh. Oh. Of course, that's a lot of books, fellas. I don't want to do that. That's 3,510,000. What else could I do? I can also convert, right? Using free XP. Here we go. Oh, where's the free XP thing? Oh, there it is. Hold on. How much does this take? Why can I only use... What is happening here? Boom. Oh, that's that person. Okay, so that's only 3,500 for that person. What about this person? Oh, that's a lot. Well, it's 3 million, isn't it? Right? So I don't have nearly enough, do I? It already told me what it is. 594. Math is hard. Yep. Okay. Well, there you go. They're close though. That's 3 million. Yikes. That's a ton. Clan account used by multiple people? Could be. Can we do that now? We can't do that yet, right? That's a future thing, I think. That doesn't exist now, right? That's a few. I don't think that. Accelerate train now. That doesn't exist yet. Pretty sure. Mentoring course. Is it in the game? No way. Mentoring course. What? Wow. Okay. So how's this work? What's this mean? Oh, danger. Wow. But I don't want to use it. Why can I only use these 3? What's going on with that? Has to. Three of 54. I have more guys in my... Why can't I only use these 3? What's going on with that? Oh, Well, yeah, but shouldn't I be able to use those on any crew? These are the only 3 that have the license? What's going on with that? Why is that? Why am I only limited to these 3 particular people? Well, now I can use all of them, right? Why if I filter in barracks does it, because I have more than this in the barracks, look. Blood type, good point. That's probably it. See, all these guys are in the barracks. I should be able to use all these. Do they have to have more experience? Is it because I haven't selected their skills? I wonder if you have to select their skills to make them eligible. Those haven't been claimed yet. Oh, or they haven't been, so I have to recruit them first. That's dumb. I still don't understand that, actually. What is going on with this? Who? Mentoring course. Wait a minute. Now I got a bunch of people. No, these are people that are in other tanks. So I just do that. These guys are in the barracks and they're... These guys are in the barracks, but they don't show in the barracks. What is going on here, man? This is what's so fucking confusing about their systems. Why don't I see them if I do this? Where are they? What is this filter? Recruits. Okay, never mind. What's this? Crew members. Bloody hell. In barracks. Boom. All right. To include... Oh, God, that's all these other assholes, too. Well, Pete Parada's in the barracks, and he wasn't listed. And so is Noodles. Yeah, I'm so confused. There they are. So all these guys are sitting in the barracks, theoretically. Because that's the filter I put on, right? In barracks. Okay, those are the guys. These are all the guys in the barracks. Oh, nation. Okay, so they also have to be the right nation? Oh, I see what you're saying. So do this. Barracks. And what was the nation? Czech, right? And then if we go down here, we should only find all these other people. No. There they are. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Thank you. Locked to the nation. So you can only absorb... You can only absorb people from the same nation. Interesting. Huh. What are these people locked to anyway? I don't even know where these belong. Tessac. Selma. Oh, okay, so that's my Selma crew. Why are they in the barracks and not in the Selma? Why is this so confusing? Tessac, Balesk, Selma. Why were they not in the Selma? I have no idea why they were not in the Selma. I have some really good crews in my silly Czech lights. I used a lot of good crews in those. That was pretty dumb, really, at the end of the day. Well, that was a rabbit hole I hadn't gone down. I thought that was actually a future thing. I didn't even know it was out, to be honest. That's going to be interesting, actually. Then I've got a lot of extra crews laying around. I may have to absorb a considerable number of them. All right, fellas. That is it. Let's find somebody to go raid. Make sure you're getting your Twitch points. So set it on and watch somebody, or set it on and walk away, whatever you want to do. Because there are coins, points, bonds. There's no bonds, but you get the picture. Stuff to get. Let's see who's out there. Who out there? How about yeah, I only have 3 licenses. True. That's true. I can only do 3. So it's not like I can go through the whole barracks and do it all. You're welcome, Zimbo. Thanks for coming by, guys. We'll go raid Giritus. I know nothing about him. I am going to go crawl under a faucet area and try to figure that out. You guys have a fantastic rest day. Thanks for following us. Thanks for the subs. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, wait a minute. I have to click. It's not quite bye-bye. Licenses will come. See you guys.